Okay, hello everybody. Let's get situated here. Okay, so I wanted to document my ketamine journey. I'm gonna file my nails while I'm talking to you guys about this because it'll make me less nervous, I guess. But so I actually started a ketamine program last October, shortly before I got pregnant with Olivia. And I did it because, so I started a low dose ketamine program called Joyous. And I liked it for the time that I did get to take it. However, didn't really feel like the integration, like basically like the mindset shifts that I experienced on that program. Like I don't really feel like their program was very good, and maybe I didn't utilize the resources enough, but like I don't feel like their program was very good with like integrating the mindset shifts into like your real life, into like life again. Like I was talking to my friend the other day about ketamine, and she put it really well. She said that her friend that did it, she just felt like she never wanted to come down from the ketamine because she never wanted to come back. And I can totally relate to that because like ketamine creates like this very like dissociative experience. Like it like makes you look at like what you've been anxious about or what you've been fearing, like super objectively, like the emotional charge behind any of your fears is like gone. So you're just able to like look at things like really objectively and be like, okay. And so let's see, I'm just fixing the focus, sorry. So yeah, anyways, so obviously Joyous didn't really last for me all that long because I got pregnant, and obviously you can't do ketamine while you're pregnant. And I just did the little oral troches. I think the highest dose I did was 10 milligrams, which is a pretty low dose of ketamine. So now that I am almost 4 months postpartum, I just am like, I definitely feel like my mindset's better. I definitely feel like my anxiety, surprisingly, even postpartum, is like better than it was before. I feel like pregnancy really made me take a hard look at like what I believed about myself and like the way that I was living my life, and like what was like, I feel like I was just really prioritizing like success and productivity over my own happiness. And after I had my baby, that really made me realize like that I didn't want to live that way anymore because hello, I have a child, right? Like I don't want to teach her that. And also like I didn't want to not enjoy being a mom because I was so obsessed with being productive, right? So anywho, although my mindset I feel like is way better, like my anxiety and my depression is like way better. It always comes and goes in waves for sure, for me at least. I just had an inkling that I was like, hey, I think I'm ready to start ketamine treatment again. And so I looked at Mind Bloom and I liked them, but then I found this other company called Better You, and it had it's ironic, like kind of funny, but I don't really watch like UFC all that much, but this UFC fighter that I know, he did a testimonial for them, and he just said that like he loved their program and the integration, which as I said before was like a big part of it for me. So I went with them. So it's Thursday, October 24th. I had my first initial, because you have to have like an initial psychiatric evaluation to make sure that you're a good candidate for ketamine therapy. They ask you basically questions about like, are you having suicidal thoughts? Are you taking any of your like SSRIs, like SSNRIs, like basically antidepressants? Do you have an issue with substance abuse, things like that. So they qualified me as a good candidate. So basically the next step is that they're going to ship me the ketamine, and then after I receive my brain box, it comes with like a blood pressure cuff because your blood pressure can go up when you take ketamine, and they want to make sure that it doesn't obviously get too high. they send you that, they send you a journal, and then they have like, you talk with a psychiatrist, or the girl that I talked to was a PA. You talk to her one more time, and they kind of just like walk you through how to set your intention and kind of what the process is going to be like, and yada, yada, yada. So basically that's what I'm waiting for at this point, is just my ketamine to come through. And what I told my PA yesterday on the phone when she was asking me, you know, like, what made you interested in ketamine therapy? I initially, like, I was like, you know, I'm not going to share this with you guys because it's like really personal, but like, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys because I'm sure that maybe you guys can relate, and maybe this will help somebody to hear my transparency. But basically just like feeling like I'm not good enough, like ever in any instance of my life. Like I'm not good enough in my relationship. I'm not, like, my body isn't good enough. Like I'm not a good enough nurse. I'm not, I'm not a good enough mom. I'm not like a good enough friend. Like just basically like always feeling like I'm not good enough. And I would always wake up in the morning, like just riddled with anxiety, because like the minute I would wake up in the morning, even if I woke up at 6 a.m., I immediately was like feeling like you're behind, like you're not being productive enough. Like, and it's gotten better over the last couple of months, but like, I just want to get rid of that completely. And I don't want there to be literally anything standing in the way of what I want. And hopefully this ketamine helps me do that. I mean, I know that obviously life is always like, there's always going to be challenges in life. There's always going to be like getting outside your comfort zone. Like, I'm not saying that like this is like the end all be all of that, but like, I feel like I'm on the precipice of like really overcoming the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of not being worthy enough. And I just want to like squash that forever. Because like as a manifestation teacher, like, let's be honest, like I've been doing it for like 4 years. And I realize now that like, that's like the one thing that's really held me back from like having like a successful business and putting a product out, is because I never like fully believed in my own product. Not because I didn't think it was good enough, not because I thought that people would like waste their money, but because I literally was like, I don't feel like I knew that my product was so good, but like unconsciously I didn't believe that. And that was stronger than my logical consciousness being like, yes, it is good enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really different because with Joyous, I think, like I said, like they sent me like 20 milligram troches, and the most I ever took was 10 at a time, just because I never had the chance to take any more because I got pregnant. But these are 400. Like, these are going to be big doses, and they're having me start out at 100, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's like significantly more ketamine than I'm used to. And so it's really cool because I actually learned that you're not like with ketamine, like it's not about having a trip, right? And like, don't get me wrong, like I've had my days of doing recreational drugs and like just wanting to take drugs just to get high, right? Like I've had my days of that. And while, you know, that's always fun, that's not like my intention with this. But what I did learn with the ketamine, like with like clinical ketamine, is like, you know, what I'm going to be doing here is that like, it doesn't take you getting into a K-hole for you to experience the neuroplasticity changes that come with the ketamine. So neuroplasticity is like the ability for your brain to change the neural pathways that are really embedded, right? Like the way that we're thinking, our habits and our feelings, like they're all very practiced in our minds. Like that's why they say like humans are creatures of habit, right? That's because those neural pathways are so cemented into our brains. And ketamine really helps kind of make those not so firm and like not so cemented. And it kind of helps us be able to mold them and change them into pathways that make us think thoughts and feel feelings that are actually serving us and taking us to places that we want to go in life and like achieving the things that we want, and like God forbid, like letting us be happy, like God forbid. So yeah, like it's not about like fucking getting high, you know, like it's not about like going into the K-hole. It's like about actually like she said it's very much like just being in like a dream state. So I'm super, super excited. For those of you who are interested, I'll link it below. Like this is not an ad. I'm just literally documenting my journey. I did the 8 treatment plan. It also comes with like group integration sessions, which I thought was really cool. So I could like talk with other people who are doing the same thing. So yeah, I'm super excited to really overcome like this anxiety and this depression that I've been going through for like, you know, like probably since I was in middle school, but like it's been really bad the last 4 or 5 years. And yeah, so yeah, anyways, that is me. I will give you guys an update as soon as I get my package. I'll show you guys like the package, and I'll talk to you guys about the I think it's like the implementation call. It's the call before I start. I'll do a video before that and then after, and tell you guys how it went. So can't wait.